Hey everybody, this is Robbie, and yeah, because I was too busy on Friday to stream, I switched things around, and thus Lost Ascension shall be streamed today if I can find it. It's probably this, right? Nope, that's up there. It is. So I'm conflicted. On the one hand, there are really good elements and a good concept that's being executed well. On the other hand, the insult count has reached 21. I.e. the demon chapters. There's chapters? The fuck? I'll come back to that question mark chapter at the end, but there are chapters to this? Nope, not doing it by that. Let's continue. Wait. Right. Alright. Let's see if this will grow or not. For the first time in what felt like forever, I had woken up in a natural way. No automatic forces, no anything. Just a tired brain convincing me to get up. My mouth opened wide as a loud yawn came out of it. I slowly... And that was, of course, when the realization hit me. This wasn't my room at all. No wonder I felt so strange. Why am I... I stopped talking as a rush of memories flooded in. My eyes looked next to me towards the sleeping Sayori. Her chest was rising and falling in a slow, methodical kind of way. I let out a quiet sigh before realizing that I was still hugging the large cow plushie. My face was burning up a little as I thought about letting it go. Instead, I took the more comfortable option. I hugged it tightly as I snuggled back into the warm bed sheets, bathing in the embrace of the cotton. I let out another quiet sigh as I relaxed, enjoying all the soft warmth. I wasn't in that void anymore. I was here. I was real. I was finally free. No, you gotta execute your plan first, whatever that is. Last night came back to mind little by little. My conversation with Sayori beginning to reform itself. She forgives me? I looked over at her again. Her lips opened slightly as she slept. She still doesn't know everything. Wait, what? Why? What's the process? Can we describe the process? Because maybe that'll illuminate things. I shook my head as I glanced over at the clock. 7 a.m.? Jeez, that's early even for me. Okay. I glanced at Sayori one more time before getting out of bed with Mr. Cow in my arms. I glanced down at Mr. Cow and nodded. I plopped the plushie down next to Sayori. She sleepily grabbed the big cow and hugged him tightly, her lips forming a quaint smile. I couldn't help but smile at that, my worries drifting away. I went over to the dresser and grabbed my change of school clothes. A feeling of familiarity greeted me as I looked down at them. It was unwanted, and the hesitation almost made me go back to bed. I shook off the notion as I found a sense of determination in myself. Sayori forgave me, and I'm sure when the time is right I'll be able to tell her the full truth. Wait, what? Why not tell it now? Why not? What's... Okay, whatever. That question will be answered later. I let the thoughts ring out to me as I moved out of her room and down the hallway. Would she still be able to accept me for who I am when she knows everything? I walked into the bathroom, glancing at myself in the mirror. My hair was a bit messy, matching closer to Sayori's than I thought possible. A small smile crossed my face as I changed out of my sleepwear and stepped into the shower, prepared for an enjoyable morning. The semi-warm water greeted me as if it was the first time I had even showered, which technically speaking it was. Cool! I craned my neck backwards and let myself relax as my thoughts once again became clouded with flickers of my conversation with Sayori yesterday. It wasn't really anything major, just enough for her to understand. You mean the... Wait, are we talking about the codebreaker process? Sarah really is my best friend, isn't she? She always was supposed to be, so it'd only be natural. Even though I had done all those horrible things, she believes that there was no way it was that bad. She's not gonna be happy when she figures it out. Wait. I mean, I'm guessing that it's because they wouldn't be willing to support the plan if it's like, alright, I have a plan. You can trust me, the person who drove Sayori to suicide. I made Yuri so obsessed with this MC character that she stabbed herself and just killed Natsuki outright. My plan is great, trust me. Like, yeah, that'd go over well. I held up her shampoo and poured some of it on my hands before gingerly lathering it into my hair, taking extra special care with each strand. My scrambled thoughts were beginning to piece themselves together as last night's Yeah, long time no see. This is Lost... Hey. This is Lost Ascension. One of the most infamous mods. Mods in DDLC. I got through the first day, and this is a count of, like, and this is a count of the insults. 21. We're at 21. I'm wondering how long... whether it'll grow or not. I really do need her. I leaned my head back more as the water washed away the eyed tears brought on from my stress. I just wanted the terror to be over it already. I brought my head back up and finished up my shower. Why does this... What? Yup, it's been Yeah, I know, it has been so long. But, you know, motivation and stuff. Why does this cinnamon? Does everything related to her have to smell like cinnamon? I laughed a little as I dried myself off and hung the towel back up. I got myself dressed and smiled at my reflection, pleased with the results of my shower. I stepped out of the bathroom and closed the door behind me, entering the hallway, but I didn't get much farther than that. Sarah had made it most of the way down the hallway, yawning as she saw me come out of the other room. Hey! Why is that her story? Right. She yawned as she tried not to fall asleep just by standing there, her eyes fluttering a little. Did Mr. Cow keep you company? She smiled brightly as I blushed in response, trying to hide my obvious embarrassment. Have you heard of, like... Yep. Yep, I did. That was absolutely more than enough to embarrass me in this situation. And yeah, it was great. The mod was really good. It was so much effort put in, it was wonderful. Especially it, like... Yeah, sure. I tried to play it off, but it was obvious that my efforts were ineffective. Yeah, the Christmas arc. That was good. I love the twist at the end, though. It's like, everything's perfect. It's all wonderful. It's great. And then, back to reality you go. This is demo of Act 2. Well, I'll see you downstairs for breakfast, okay? She started to walk away before pausing and looking back at me. Best friend? I couldn't help but smile back, her eyes lighting up a bit as she turned and stepped into the bed. It's a demo about some... Oh, really? That's interesting. Anyway, have you heard of, like, this mod? Specifically Lost Ascension? I've heard a lot. And the reason I'm playing it is because of its infamy. I've heard a lot of things about it. And it is infamous. Ah, so we're gonna journey through in... Oh, really? Well, all you really need to know so far is that it is infamous. And I don't know why. basically there's a lot of like but yeah, there is conflicting stuff, like the player of this world doesn't want a happy ending. He just keeps trying to get it, but nothing works, and then it's just entertainment and torture of it instead. And so they're trying to break free. They used the code breaker thing, and so and the MC isn't aware of any of this, which I'm starting to is like happening, and everybody has to follow the script. And they didn't use the code breaker on MC. Don't know why, but maybe they're saving it for later. I don't know. This is a big game of catch up. So, just point being, they have a plan. I don't know what it is, and I'm wondering what's going on. That was a bad explanation. But anyway, I hope it was enough. I stayed by the door for a moment, listening to her hum and turned to herself. Oh, Fruits of the Literature Club. Yeah, I'm actually gonna, I'll probably play it after this mod is done, or after Exit Music Redux is done. I'm playing that too. Whichever comes first. I stepped away, returning back to her room to get my head cleared in preparation for having to face the struggles of the day. I put my clothes on her desk and relaxed a bit as I picked up my bow, looking it over as it draped off of my hands. Maybe I can change my look after all of this is said and done. I shook my head, ignoring that thought. Okay then. Like I said, I'll be playing that after this is done, so can't wait to see what it holds. I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon, even if I wanted to. Jeez, I'm good. I walked out of her room and headed downstairs, passing by her cinnamon-scented bathroom as I did so. When I got to the kitchen, my nose had the cinnamon overrun with the smell of bacon. Natsuki. I stopped before turning the corner, leaning against the wall to listen into the conversation for a few moments. What's going on here? But anyway, again, can't wait for the treat. This is really nice, and I could hear the clear sound of a ring out. Well, that's because I'm the perfect cook, you know? I couldn't help but laugh a little at this remark, only for one of them to hear my slip off. Hey, I hear you over there. Show yourself! I peeked around the corner and saw the two girls in the kitchen. Yuri was sitting down at the table enjoying what appeared to be a full-course meal while Natsuki was standing by the stove, spoon in hand. Yuri looked surprised as she saw me appear while Natsuki cut a hard glare at me. Oh, so the vegetarian couldn't resist the meat, huh? How could she when it's cooked up by me? Still, yup, yup. Still holding on to those voices. If it works, it works. And I'm used to... Yuri's surprise was replaced soon enough with a smirk as she giggled to herself. Natsuki was smiling widely at her audience's enjoyment of the matter. Right, anyways, did you make anything non-meat related? Should I just... No. Natsuki nodded as she pointed over to a covered plate before going back to what she was doing. Her head was swaying side to side to a tune I couldn't hear. I had a feeling it was Play With Me again. Alright, they can also code. They're learning stuff, I think. I don't know. We'll learn more together. I grabbed the plate and sat down across from Yuri. Uncovering it revealed a plate of toast slathered with jam, a bowl of grits, and a small plate of salad of fruits. She really did put a lot of thought into this. I looked up to thank her only for my words to be interrupted by another surprise move. I felt my heart skip a beat as Natsuki had gingerly placed down a single cup of coffee in front of me. Why? Natsuki, thank you. She smirked a little before heading back to work her breakfast magic atop the stove. My smile widened as I picked up the cup and took a gracious yet cautious sip. It's perfect. I couldn't help but keep smiling as I put the cup down. Even the level of creamer in the mixture was spot on. Really? However, its heavenly presence began to slowly fade away as I retreated to my thoughts. I must have looked off because it didn't take long before I was being interrogated. Monica? Is everything alright? I looked up at the one sitting across from me. Yuri was looking at me curiously. I picked up my coffee cup again and nodded slowly as I took another sip. I'm just thinking about everything that's going on is all. I can't lie, it's pretty stressful for me. Why am I picking... No, whatever. Yuri nodded in agreement as she circled a finger around the rim of her teacup, her expression changing to that of thought. It is stressful, that much is quite true, Monica. She closed her eyes as she went into thought. I wanted to make her feel less stressed, so I chipped in a little... Yep, Monica's the narrator. Which... the narration changes at certain times. It flashes a color on screen before it changes, so... Green is for Monica, pink is for Natsuki, purple is for Yuri, blue is for Sayori, and then yellow is for the player, MC, whatever. But I have a lot of confidence in our ability to get ourselves free of this prison, even with all of the stress involved, as long as everyone helps me out during this week. She opened her eyes again, her seriousness replaced with that of a supportive smile as she nodded. Agreed! We're gonna kick his ass right out of here! You mean... the player or the MC? Because, apparently they insult the MC a lot in their thoughts. I don't know. I just heard of that. That's another one of the things I've heard about this. Oh shit, did I forget to read this? Natsuki's speech was interrupted by a very angry Yuri, glaring directly into her soul. Natsuki looked away from her quickly. We're gonna kick his... Yuri was still staring straight through her. Wait, swearing was the issue here? Okay, what was that? Yuri smiled at this, nodding in earnest approval. Because this is too crass? What? Natsuki shook her head in defeat as she turned back to her work. Never mind. Trained her, have we? Didn't think you'd be that quick. I said it with a small laugh as Yuri giggled in response. Natsuki tensed up slightly and started to turn around to say something before decided against it, her annoyed look having faded a little to a smile. She's been a very good person to be with during everything going on recently. I'm quite glad, really. Yuri took a gentle sip from her tea as she said this, her attention slowly returning back to her large breakfast. I guess you could say she really brings out a lot better part of me that I had forgotten about. Yuri smiled again as she finished speaking, although she was still... Whoa. Oh, the demo for Act 2. Yeah, I heard. Oh, that's the in-between arc. Okay. Although she was still admittedly speaking a bit nervously, I could tell she seemed more confident now with her thoughts. I didn't think Natsuki would be the one to pull that off. I mean, part of it would be due to Codebreaker, but you know what? Screw it. I looked over at Natsuki. He was what? A few glances in Yuri's general direction, her eyes widening and her mouth hanging open a little. Yeah, well, that was the point in terms of the original, but maybe this one is, like, different? Like, more horrifying or more yandere? I don't know, I haven't really played the Act 2, like, demo yet, so who knows? She seems pretty shocked that she's being spoken so highly of. Hey, you made breakfast? Star eyes, ooh. My train of thought was interrupted by the sudden arrival of Sayori. I turned around in my seat to see the always enthusiastic girl rush across to Natsuki and stand by her. In the process, she, of course, nearly knocked Natsuki over, to which the smaller girl responded with a loud yell and a familiar tone of voice. Sayori! You Oh, I speed read that. Are you serious? I'm cooking over here. You could have caused a fire. I stifled a laugh as Yuri smiled at the interaction playing out in front of us. Another thing is that I'm pretty conflicted about this. Like I said, this is infamous, and for every... Hey, what? Like, bad moment, there's good moments, like this. This is pretty good. But, you know, the only way to properly judge this is to keep playing, so... So, Monica, I have to ask, your hair... Yeah, nothing... Yeah. And I doubt everything that's happening here is gonna go smoothly either. Your hair! I looked over at her. Yuri was looking at me once more with curiosity. Have you considered leaving it down? It looks nice when it's not tied up. Does it? I hadn't really paid much attention to it. Neither did we! Neither did I! I didn't see that? Like, that's not a sprite yet? I don't know. I reached up and brushed through my hair with my fingers. It was surprisingly soft at the moment. So, new viewer, hello. I do have to admit, it is more comfortable without the bow on. It does look really nice like that, Monica. Sayori sat down next to me with a plate piled high with eggs and bacon. I couldn't help but stare at her plate for a moment before glancing up at Sayori with a perplexed look. Thanks for the compliments? I smiled, unsure of what to say, as Natsuki came over and sat down with her own plate. Her eyes were wide as she took her first bite and appeared pleased with how it turned out. It's nothing, really. I think you should try wearing it like that, though, after, Yep, the plan, which still don't know what that's about, but, you know, that'll probably be revealed. I nodded as Yuri quieted down, her face back to deep concentration as she picked up her fork and took a jab at her eggs. Natsuki, this is the best breakfast I've ever had. Sayori said it loudly as she took the first bite out of her toast. Sayori, are you being serious right now? Have you even tried the eggs? Or how about the bacon? What did she eat? Oh, rapidly, too. That's cool. Natsuki said it rapidly before digging back in, clearly not wanting to further the conversation. I didn't expect her to eat so fast, although it makes sense. I was aware of her home situation, but her dad didn't actually exist in this reality. Right? Oh, bolded. Maybe he does? The question? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we... Well, I just wanted to say thank you, so thank you. Sayori was smiling as Natsuki pouted a little, annoyed at being interrupted during her morning feast. You're welcome. Now shut it and eat up before I take your food. We gotta hurry up anyway. School probably starts soon. Sayori's eyes widened as she started to eat much faster now, my own plate barely touched. Well, waste not, want not. No reason to leave this food here. I dug into my own meal. The jam tasted fresh, almost like it was homemade. Something I noted to myself to ask Natsuki about later. After 15 minutes, most of our dishes have been cleaned of food, and we're sitting in the sink soaking with Natsuki's minimal amount of kitchen tools. Taking a quick look at the clock, it was nearly 7:45. That was just enough time to have a few words with Sayori before leaving her to fend for herself with him. Yup, quick thing. Him is constantly bolded here. I learned that in the previous part, and yes, it does refer to the MC, or the player. I don't know. Yup, the MC. It's like they're treating him like... It's weird. This is one of the weird parts. It's like him. Like they're treating him like Voldemort from Harry Potter. You don't speak his name unless you have to. I don't know. Monica? I looked over at Yuri and Natsuki, the two of them appearing worried as Sayori went upstairs to her room without paying any mind to the others. Are you sure Sayori can handle this? I don't want her to get hurt by being around him. Yup, the MC is not treated like the MC. Even though from all I can tell he has the same dialogue, mannerisms, he's basically the same as in vanilla. Yuri asked a question quietly as Natsuki looked away, nodding in agreement. I'll have a chat with her, okay? She will be just fine. I said it with an encouraging smile, hoping to give them a brighter outlook on all of this. But you smiled in return as they listened to me. I promise, okay? Yuri smiled once more and exited the kitchen to grab her school gear. Natsuki, however, stood there staring at me in the eye. Yeah, Meiji's a pretty good name for him, honestly. And And yeah, World of Dreams is... And yeah, also update. I think you said that World of Dreams would become like my favorite mods. It is really good with pretty good writing. Club Meetings is my favorite though. It's just with all the great writing and dialogue and character moments and like feeling like an extension of the club with just new concepts, new poetry stuff being explored, new activities, email stuff, and a really good story that's pretty relatable with the world they want. It is really good. Just but yeah, World of Dreams is like in like top 3, so don't worry. Don't make this breakfast go to waste by not giving Sari enough help, got it? I'm not about to do this again. She turned her nose up and walked away as well. Yeah, Monica was also a pretty good character in that. I could tell she was nervous about today too, even if her way of expressing it was different. Alright. What was with the long pause there? Whatever. I went upstairs and knocked on Sarah's door, hearing a familiar shuffle from inside as she moved something. Oh, yeah? Hold on. Okay, come in. I opened the door and poked my head in. Sarah was standing by her desk and pulling out a notebook. Hi, Monica. Did you forget something? I smiled. Well, yes. Where would I be without... I walked over next to her and triumphantly held up my white bow, still neatly tied up, just like it always is. My perfect bow, and... Heck, so far character writing's good in this, aside from, not treating the MC like an MC, kinda, in a sense. I don't know, from part 1 they talked about how he isn't really an insult him anyway. I don't know. Oh, we're probably gonna, it'll probably be better in the, like, show don't tell thing, so let's just keep going. Sarah giggled as she looked at it. It's so big and poofy. Do you think I could wear it one day? Just for a little while? Yep, this is Sarah's house, and this house in Lost Ascension. Yep, this is Sayori's house and yeah, you're right. It is the same like backgrounds as MC's house or Meiji's house. Yeah, I can see the confusion there. I began to tie it up. Looking in the mirror, I did my normal routine of positioning the bow to make it look as perfectly placed as possible. Well, we don't exactly have the hair to tie this up in, so I'm gonna say no to that. Sari pouted a little bit, but she shook it off upon taking a glance at her clock. I in turn did the same just to— Oh no! Monica! You gotta go! She gently shoved me as I hurriedly picked up my bag and notebook. It had hit 7:55 without me even realizing it. Oh boy. We both rushed down the steps, checking each other to make sure we hadn't forgotten anything before continuing. I stopped and looked at Sari with a serious expression, her gaze meeting mine with the same ferocity. Sari, I paused. Why did I feel so overwhelmed? I kept staring at her. I want you to be careful, okay? I just want you to be safe. She nodded and smiled. That damn smile was intoxicating, I swear. I just couldn't help but smile back before rushing off, all the while making sure to stay out of sight from the house neighboring Sayori's. Yep. Oh, we're going to Yuri's perspective. I thought we'd go to... Oh, it's the club. We're skipping the walk this time. Okay. A quiet room. A quiet day. A quiet life. Quiet everything. Cool. It's everything I've ever wanted. I sighed to myself as I looked down, my thoughts running wild as I tapped my pen on my desk. You okay, Yuri? You seem a bit off. I looked up as Natsuki interrupted my thoughts. She was standing in front of my desk with a concerned look on her face, her eyes searching mine for some kind of answer. I'm fine, thank you for asking. Yep, that was the flash of color, purple, and then this is the perspective. I'm just not sure what to write for my poem today. I said it dejectedly as I put my pen down and looked over at the clock. I had already been sitting there for a few minutes. Wait, hold up! Don't we have pre-written poems or something? Why are you writing another one? Do you want to mess with Monica's plan or something? Which, still don't know what it is, but yeah, we're not gonna harp on it. I looked up at her and narrowed my eyes a bit. I was going to wait to tell you, but since you don't seem to have any patience, I guess I can explain my idea now. I immediately realized that my words had come out a lot more harshly than I had intended, and I quickly covered my mouth with my hands. Natsuki seemed a bit taken aback by my words, but she didn't back away immediately, as I was half expecting her to. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get rude, Natsuki replied quickly. It's okay, seriously. I know you're just nervous, kind of like me with my ideas. I sighed as the possibilities of the numerous negative endings in my head dissipated. Natsuki wasn't taking my responses to heart as much as some other people would. Right, well, I wanted to suggest to Monica that we could come together in the evenings with some new poems. Just so we have something to break up the coding lessons. I felt my confidence raise when I noticed Natsuki's eyes light up. Unlike these poems we're sharing with him, great. Back to this. They'll be written by us instead of being these pre-written messes. Yes, the pre-written messes, which were actually fine poems to begin with. Yeah, whatever. Distancing from the game and still treating him as MC as if he's some demon. Cool. Yeah, I don't know! I don't know! As far as I can tell, it's just, MC might be connected with the player. Because correlation obviously equals causation, right? Sarcasm, that was sarcasm. Again, I don't know. She seemed to really like the idea. Do you think it's a good idea? I'm not sure if Monica will like it. She nodded before looking at me with a small pout. Yeah, I guess, but only because that way I can prove that I'm a better writer and poet. I laughed at her softly as Natsuki pouted even more in response. I'll prove that I am. Just you watch, Yuri. She walked to... Yeah, that's... What? That's a good analogy, and that's kind of what I'm getting. I do, like... She walked to sat down with a huff, her pen immediately going to town on her now open notebook. She is quite the conundrum, but she is really fun to hang out with. It almost feels like she's trying to impress me or something. I looked back down at my paper, feeling a new inspiration come over me as I let my mind run free. I looked over at Natsuki and back to my sheet again as it formulated itself. I picked up my pen after a few more moments and began to write swiftly on this blank slate, a fresh idea having come to reality. My thought process was unfortunately interrupted almost right away by someone entering the room and let an exasperated sigh. That was too far. Wait, what? What was too far? What happened? The hell? I looked up and saw her standing in the doorway with a winded face, her body shaking a little as she recovered. Oh, right, I thought it meant, oh, this guy went too far. Nope, it's run. Ah, no, she ran a marathon. That's probably it. Yeah, she ran a marathon, and yeah, I know, I thought the same thing. Then again, if that was the case, this cheery music that was playing probably would have come to a crashing halt like this. Silence until we get replaced with a somberer song, so... Enjoy your sprint here? It seems like you... Natsuki spoke loudly. It was extremely obvious that she was teasing her. Yup, it was a nice and long run. Monica finally got her breath under control as she stood up straight and smiled. She glanced at the two of us. Did I miss anything important? She brushed herself off as I looked back down at my paper. It was currently titled Windward Journey. I hadn't finished my poem yet, so I shook my head, hoping to let my idea simmer a little more before revealing it. Actually, Monica, Yuri had this great idea to share with you. I personally enjoyed it. I shot a look over at her. She was smiling playfully as Monica turned her attention towards me. My fear of interaction spiked up immediately at her curious stare. Oh? You had an idea? I stared back at Monica and let my nerves calm down a little before nodding. I had a great idea, or at least that's what Natsuki thinks. I stood up and brought my partially finished poem over to her. I held it out and she took it. She seemed a bit perplexed as she looked down at it. She read it over a few times, something forming in her facial expression. Pretty much, yup. I wasn't sure if she was just confused or something else, but I felt my back tense up as I looked away from her, hoping she wasn't going to be angry. It's new. I looked at her as my fears continued to build up, my doubts beginning to take shape again. Did she not like it? I know it wasn't finished. Maybe she doesn't understand what I want? I felt my face burn up as I searched her face for an answer. She didn't seem to be leaning in any one direction from what I could tell. Is it that bad? Did I ruin this idea already? Why am I so bad at I'm... Ah, okay. Yuri, this is amazing. The feeling in my body froze. For a moment it felt like something on my arm was burning a little. I had grabbed my arm